Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of Rank the Movies. Well, it's a new month, meaning we've got a new set of things to talk about. So, we're going to jump right into it, to a great Michael J. Fox movie. It is one of my favorite Michael J. Fox movies that isn't Back to the Future. Now, I also really like Mars Attacks, and I have a video somewhere where I talk about that movie. But he's not really the star of that movie. But this is a starring vehicle of Michael J. Fox. It is the movie Greedy. Yes, I know, it's a VHS. Sometimes it's fun to pull out the VHSs. Greedy is the movie about a family whose patriarch, their uncle, so he's related to them all, but it's all through siblings. Their uncle is very wealthy and getting on there in years. He's bound to a wheelchair, and he's just getting up there. And they all want to make sure that they get to inherit his fortune upon his death. The problem is, one day at his birthday, they all visit him and find out that their sucking up may not be enough, as he has now gotten a sexy nurse, I guess, is what it is. It's someone he has to help him out around the house that isn't his butler, but she is a very attractive woman, and now they're afraid that the old man is going to leave it all to the attractive woman, because why wouldn't they think that? So they realize that his favorite person was his brother, who they had a big falling out, but his son was also someone very held highly in the old man's eyes. The old man being played by Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas's father. He's just really good in this movie. Anyways, they go out and they search for the son, who is played by Michael J. Fox. He's a professional bowler, but he's beginning to get arthritis in his hand, and therefore he may not be able to continue playing. He is good, but he's not good enough to have ever made a national broadcast. He is dating. His girlfriend is Nancy Travis, and she is actually one of the producers. So she's always pulling for him at his tournaments to make it high enough in the brackets so he can be on the national tour, on the national broadcasts. He is convinced by his cousins to come home and visit their uncle, and he begins his own plotty, schemy thing, seeing what might happen with him leaving all of his money to the hot young woman, or leaving all of his money to the vultures who are picking at the corpse. So it becomes a game of who can outdo who in the gain the old man's affections. It's a really good movie. I've always enjoyed it. I mean, the supporting cast is held up by Ed Begley Jr., you got Phil Hartman in there, you have Colleen Camp, who is from Clue. You have, I think there's some other recognizable stars. Oddly enough, you have a young, I just totally blank. The case isn't gonna help me on remembering her name. She's in Spider-Man, and okay, I'm not gonna try to keep thinking of her name. But anyways, she is in it as well, which is very cool that you get a young actress like that in it. Kristen Dunst. You have a young Kristen Dunst in the movie. That looks really weird. I understand that. It is what it is. But there's a young Kristen Dunst. She plays one of the children. She doesn't do a lot, but she is in it. It's a very fun and enjoyable movie about family and of course greed. It is about the greed these people have. That's not really, for some of them it might actually be affection. For other ones, it's simply just greed. And it's really fun, especially towards the beginning of the movie when the cousins are meeting together and talking about all of the things that their private detectives have dug up on the other cousins to make them look bad in our old rich man's eyes, so it's more likely he'll leave money to them. It's a fun movie. It's a really enjoyable movie. I really like it. To the point that originally its DVD release, the only way you could get it was in a 3-pack with For the Love of Money and whatever movie he did with Woody. No, not Woody. No, James Woods. I put the wood in the wrong spot. And whatever movie he did with James Woods, it was the only way I could get it. And I bought that so I would have, so I could have this movie on DVD. Now it is also available on Blu-ray. And of course, if you really want to, you can always hunt down a VHS copy of Greedy as well. It's an enjoyable movie. It's a fun movie. I definitely recommend it. If you've never seen it, check it out. Alright, so next week on the show, we're going to talk about a star-studded comedy that's near to my heart. It's one of those movies it took me a couple of viewings to understand what it is, but now that I understand it, I really enjoy it. So stop back next Wednesday. I am Martin Prios. This is Rank the Movies. Have a good one.